Patty is with us in California. Hi, Patty. How can we help?
Hi, Dave and Chris. Thanks so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I am 25 years old, and I just got accepted into an accelerated nursing program that I'm going to start in September. I currently have no debt from my previous bachelor's or any other kind of debt. And I'm going to have to take out a student loan in order to finance this education. And I just want to figure out the wisest way for me to pay for school so that I don't end up in a big hole at the end of it.
You're not going to like us.
Okay.
We teach people to not borrow money.
Yeah.
You knew that, right?
I knew that. I've been listening to your show for quite a while, and
In the history of your listening, have you ever heard us say ever to anyone to borrow money?
No, I have not.
Okay. Probably not changing that today. So how can we figure out a way to help you? Because we can't help you with your question. I can't help you borrow money. Because I don't think that's wise for you. Okay. I love the accelerated nursing program. I love what you're talking about doing. Yep. I love the field that you're in. But if you were my daughter, I would tell you not to borrow money to do this. I'm going to have to find another way to do this instead of just accepting the cultural norm of going into student loan debt.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Patty, you said you had avoided debt even for undergrad. So how did you pay for the undergrad?
Yeah, so it was a combination of a college fund that my grandparents and my parents had set up for me, and then substantial scholarships that I was offered.
Good. Okay. So what does this cost?
The cost of the accelerated program?
In the fall, yeah.
Yeah, so the total cost, including living expenses, is going to be around $47,700.
So you have to change cities?
Yes, yeah.
Are you working in nursing?
The living expenses.
Are you working in nursing now?
No, I'm not. I am currently working in a service industry.
Oh, okay. And so, did you get a degree in nursing already, or this is to become a nurse?
This is to become a nurse. My first degree was in ecology, so I worked in river assessment for a couple of years, and then decided that I wanted to switch over to nursing.
Okay. But you're in a service industry now.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you
make?
Traveling,
what do you make now?
I make $15 an hour.
Okay. All right. So, and you're living on that?
I'm currently living with my parents. I've been home for the last 5 months.
Okay. And what city do you live in?
I live in a small town, Mammoth Lakes, California.
How far away is the nursing program that you've...
The nursing program is in Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's that.
Whoa.
How'd you get the fellowship on the other grades?
Yeah, grades. So my plan is obviously to apply for scholarships, and I've already submitted my FAFSA. So I should be getting some kind of financial aid from the federal government, and then the application period for scholarships opens in October. So I will, of course, be submitting.
I thought you started in the fall.
I do, yeah. They had an application period open in March, but I wasn't aware that I was accepted into the program. So
I see. Okay. Well, there's lots of places you can apply for a scholarship. They're not the only place.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I also would start talking to hospital companies like the HCAs of the world. There's a nursing shortage, and talk to them and see if they have programs where they will assist you in your nursing school costs. In return, you promise to work for them maybe when you come out for a number of years or whatever. There are programs like that out there floating around. But would I just jump and go $50,000 in debt without having done anything else just because you got accepted in Iowa and you live in California? No. I might tap the brakes on it. Probably going to have to, because you simply don't have the money. And you're getting ready to go deeply in debt. And if you don't finish or you don't pass your boards, you're right back to trying to pay off $50,000 with this $15 an hour job again.
Okay, so the risks of taking out the loan, you think, are greater than the benefit of
Yes.
being able to make
Yes.
significantly more money than I am now.
Yes. After having talked to the 32-year-old version of you for 30 years, who's up a freaking creek because they made these choices, and then they end up getting married. And one lady I remember, I'll never forget, I was just heartbroken. She got married and had her first child who had all kinds of medical needs, and she wanted to quit and go home and stay with this child that needed its mother at home, and she couldn't do it because she had $100,000 in student loan debt. Because these are the things, when life unfolds, you don't see this stuff coming.
No, you really don't, Dave. And I'm going to tell you, I know, Patty, you're sitting there, you're thinking this is a great opportunity and this is the time for you, and it's the doors are opening up, and it's not. It's actually trap doors that are opening up that have swallowed, unfortunately, 44 million Americans around to the tune of 1.7 trillion in student loan debt. And I would forego this for a year until I could save up, or as Dave said, look for scholarships or companies for internships. I'm going to figure out every way possible, but not signing these student loan documents.
Yep.
And Patty, I'm telling you something. I'm talking to the 4-year-older version of you. I hope you take this option off the table. I hope you don't just hear us and it rattles around in your head for a little bit and you still pick up that pen, because it is a costly pen to sign those student loans. I hope you don't. I really do. And you can follow that dream, but you have to follow it in a different direction.
When you do your dream the wrong way, it ends up being a nightmare.
Ooh.
And it just, that's what happens.
Yeah.
And I've just talked to tens of thousands of Patties that wish they hadn't done this. And it only works if it all works perfect. And it never works perfect in life.
No, it doesn't.
Kind of like when you got the ecology degree.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. Now, what if, what happens if, ... And, that's what COVID shutting everything down underlined for people everywhere, is that their plan that they had sucked.
Yeah.
And when you stress test a bad plan, it comes up stupid, and that's what happens. So I hope it doesn't stress test you, but Patty, there's a reason you've never heard us tell anybody to borrow money. It's not just because we're killjoys or dream killers. It's because it's quite the opposite. We want good things for you. We love you. We want you to win.
Yeah.
Hogan, we did not win that last one.
What do you mean?
She's going to get a student loan.
You think so, Dave?
I don't think we won it. Did you think we won it?
No.
Because, she started the conversation. The deal's already done in her head.
Yeah.
And I don't think we turned that car around.
No, you're probably right. And I hate that. I hate to think that, because we only have a brief period of time, right, to try to convey it to someone. But as you said, you've been talking to 30-year-old Patties for 30 years now. What do we do? How do we help people to realize? Because you said it, the perfect plan never happens.
Well,
it doesn't.
Once somebody gets their dream and the horse leaves the barn, she's going down the interstate at 75 miles an hour. We had to make her stop, get off the exit, and turn around and go the other way.
That's right.
And I don't even know if we slowed her down, but I don't think she got off the exit. I don't think she turned around. I don't know. Maybe we gave her something to think about. I don't want to be. The thing is this: the entire culture has lost its mind, and when you adopt the values of a culture that allows and encourages American young people to go very soon to be $2 trillion in debt.
Yeah.
To get a degree. And some degrees are valid and some are ridiculous. That is a valid degree. It's a valid degree. But what she put on the table was 100% financing for a program all the way across the United States from her family, which is not, that's survivable. You can do that.
Right.
But there was no tip of the hat to the way she did the other thing even. There was no...
Yeah, she said it very quickly. Her grandparents had a college fund, and she had some scholarships.
And a fellowship.
Yeah.
Which means that she's bright.
Yeah, she avoided it at some point then. And you know what, Dave? People do get stupid. I remember going to grad school, And there is a thing in your mind that says, this will guarantee me more money.
Mm-hmm.
This master's will guarantee. And it's almost posed in your brain that you're almost, if you get accepted, then you're stupid if you don't do it.
Yeah. And that's the way it's feeling right now. So when we stopped and suggested that, it felt stupid.
Right.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. No, you're
that's
absolutely
what I
right.
felt in the spirit.
Because here's what she's thinking, if I can play devil's advocate. She's thinking, I'm going to get out, I'm going to make 80. If I owe 47, I'm going to live on 30-something and pay it.
Yeah.
Ha! No, you won't.
It doesn't work that way.
You won't. I'm going to tell you right now, you won't, because you've opened the door and you're going to keep adding to it, and it's stacking. And then it's the couple, you talked about the lady that had the sick child that she wanted to stay at home with. I'll take it a step further. It's the young couple that meets that's wanting to get married and then have a baby, and then somebody wants to be at home, and you qualified for this debt with this double income, and now you're trying to survive on one. Mm-hmm. You just dug the hole. Mm-hmm. You dug the hole. Yeah. So, Patty, put the shovel down and think long term for you. I guess what you hear is really one old guy and one younger dude, me. I'm the younger one in this duo, trying to give you some life guidance. And if you won't listen to the old one,
you just lost your credibility.
No, if you're not.
I mean, when you lie on the radio, you lose your credibility.
But you're right, Dave. People get going down the road so fast. I guess I want them to hear the pain we've heard sitting across from people.
Yeah, I mean, we're just, our whole job is not only put up a speed bump, it's put up a wall.
Yeah.
That just says you can't go here. You can't go here. Get Anthony. Should have given her that book, Anthony O'Neill's Debt-Free Degree.
Yes.
I goofed. There's another thing I goofed on that call. But, in a sense, what we're doing, we're trying to teach you folks the shortest distance between where you are and your best possible life as far as wealth building goes. The highest dollars of wealth. The shortest distance is not through debt.
Mm-hmm.
It's proven time and time and time again. It always feels like, and here's the other thing, 100% of the time you talk to wealthy people that started with nothing, like all the millionaires that we interviewed, 100% of the time they tell you to make a decision that hurts now financially that causes you to prosper later. Mm-hmm. Don't make a decision that's easy now that hurts you later. And that's always debt.
It is.
It's easy now to sign up for these payments and I drive off the lot in a shiny new truck. That's easy, but it hurts you later.
It sure does.
It's hard to do what, young man we talked to in the last hour, he came home from work every day for 3 years and built his own house with his hands. That's hard now, but now he's sitting there with a paid-for home. And, so if it's easy now and hard later, it's the wrong financial decision.
Correct.
And that's what it always is, too. Mm-hmm. By the way, anything you want to put through that lens, that filter will help you make financial decisions. If it's easy now, if it's easy money, if it's quick money, if it's get rich quick, the Bible says he who hastens to be rich is in a hurry to be rich will not go unpunished. It doesn't say sometimes you get by. It says will not go unpunished. Get rich quick 100% of the time will kick you in the teeth.
Yeah, well.
Easy payments will always set you up in a mess. So what feels like it's smart right now, but it's easy right now, it's the path of least resistance is what people do with student loans.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of figuring, I'm going to sweat, I'm going to work, I'm going to apply to more different colleges, find a cheaper deal, find one within range of my home so I can live at home and get rid of the living expenses.
Yeah.
I'm going to get scholarships. I'm going to work my tail
Work
end
at
off.
night, yes.
And I'm going to wait a year. None of this is easy.
Yeah.
But when you're 32 versus 25, you look back, you'll go, man, that was smart.
That's right. It is. No, you're absolutely right. And I tell it when I was coaching people, I want you to make 2-year decisions. I want you to make a decision that you'll look back on in 2 years and you're glad you made it. Right? And that's the stuff that puts you on the path. So just for the other young people out there that are listening, just hear this. Hear this yield. Hear this kind of, I like that, Dave, throwing up a wall, because I'm tired of people climbing it and then falling down into this pit and then trying to dig them out. They're trying to dig themselves out for 15 years. Avoid that pit.
Yeah.
Go another direction.
Go find some nurses that have $50,000, $100,000 in debt, and ask them if they think they'd do it again. They won't tell you to do it again.
No, they will not. No, they will not.
They say, I would have done it. I think being a nurse is a great idea, but I would have done it a different way.
That's right. No, you're right.
Or anything. Fill in the blank. Nurse, whatever else. Put it in there.
Attorney, doctor. Just walk down through the list, because we've counseled all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's not a proven methodology for convincing someone who's already decided anything. But guys, we just, it's real simple with us. We're not primitive. We're actually have been doing this for decades. This is a very sophisticated organization and a sophisticated train of thought. And these are proven points of data.
Mm-hmm.
They're proven that the shortest distance between where you are right now and where you want to go, wealth-wise, is of getting out of debt and avoiding debt, and building an emergency fund and living on a budget and so forth. So with these crazy times right now, if you have said never again, you don't want to be at the mercy of anything, including even global crises. Never again. Well, the news cycle puts you in a panic. If you've got a plan and you have savings and you don't have any debt, you're going to be in a different place because this has happened to you and scared you. The new Ramsey Plus program, there's a free trial going on right now, and you need to check it out. It includes all the Financial Peace University. It includes syncing on every dollar. It includes the new Baby Steps app. Check it all out at DaveRamsey.com. Ramsey Plus, free trial.